Getting ready for the roadmap to recovery. It can be a comfy but delightful roadmap back. All right, let's chat. Join in, ask questions, let me know what's going on. Welcome to another episode of the Get Events Online live stream. Today I want to talk about how do we get events back online or get events back happening using the roadmap the Victorian and New South Wales governments have put out. Hey, by the way, I'm Warwick Merry, triple certified virtual presenter and producer and speaking professional. First of all, hey, huge congrats to the MIA winners last night. Some fantastic winners there for the Meetings Events Association of Australia. Some awesome stuff through really challenging times. Sue Ryman Kiernan, big shout out to you. You are a legend, and I will not have it said any other way. But today we're talking about getting more events happening, getting back to events, getting back to reconnecting, sharing ideas, and using the roadmaps to do it. Here's the thing with the roadmap. It's a map. It's not reality. It's a map. I think we've all had enough time on Google Maps to realize that sometimes you'll be going down a road somewhere and it doesn't end to where you want it to be. I've been going to friends' places and they're like, oh, don't use Google Maps. It puts you 2 streets over. When Eastlink was being built here on Google Maps, it was declared open before it actually was. So people stopped their cars, opened gates, drove through onto a freeway that was not complete. So we have to be careful about just going, the map has everything, because the map itself is a bit bodge in that it talks about percentage vaccinations and we don't understand how long it's going to take. So what does that mean for us as event crew? Well, what it means is the ability to pivot. Aren't you sick of that word? People who talk about pivoting all the time. In our house, pivoting and agile have become joke words where we chuckle heartily about them. So but what we have to do is understand it's not a direct line. It's a flexible, and there's conversations about possible lockdowns, but less likely. So here's the thing. When you're looking at events, it is now about risk mitigation. Insurance companies won't cover you for the COVID stuff anymore. So it's looking about what's going to give you the best return on investment and what's going to give you the best result. So a couple of my clients who are looking at holding events between now and, say, March next year, I'm advising them to go fully online. It's just not worth the risk of any other way. Now, some states like Western Australia and Queensland, Northern Territory, maybe South Australia and Tassie, they have they're a bit more open. And so you can do your face-to-face events. You can't have too many people in a room, but you can't have interstate guests or interstate speakers. So you're doing a little bit of hooking through or zooming in or projecting in who your speakers might be. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. What it means is there's less actual production, actual cost of getting the person on site. And often what it can mean is that you can do some really cool things to get some people giving you the kind of emphasis that you're after. As a speaker, one of our key competitors now is Cameo, because for a relatively small amount, you can get celebrities of different ilks to give you a 5 or 10 minute burst. There was a VFairs, I was on one of their, I was invited to be part of their launch of a new service, and they had Kenny G with a bit of his oboe. It's not a saxophone, I think it's an oboe, giving it a bit of a boost. So what it means is we can do a whole lot of different things. So for us, it's risk mitigation. I'd be looking at going online in the short term, maybe being able to flip to online as a long-term thing. It also means size. We're still going to be limited in terms of the number of people you can have on site. So you really do need to consider how many people do I want to be sticking in the one room and how many people am I able to? And can I look at some creative venues that are quasi outdoors or include a bit of outdoors? There's some weird and weird and wonderful stuff going on. So the key thing really is keep digital as either choose to go it all the way up front or keep it in your back pocket as an option. But make sure whoever your speakers or presenters are, be they industry speakers, professional speakers, or celebrities or artists that you're getting present, make sure that they know how to present to camera. It's so important. There are so many speakers who just don't get it. And it's not about just let me put up a PowerPoint and read to you. Even face-to-face, that's not on anymore. Text on screen is not okay. Even if it's just a sales meeting, because people are going to tune out. You know it. You've done it. So looking at, as we go to this more flexible approach, it's going to be how do we do it better? And the underlying message I've said for many people is get better. As an online presenter, get better. Look, and as a tip, here's a thing. Go here, get 7 keys. Online Presenter Pro, get 7 keys. There's 7 keys that you need to get better online. So that's my gift to you. Check it out. But as we're going forward, it's really looking at, okay, with our events, we need to make sure that we're doing whatever we can to minimize the risk, maximize the engagement. Oh, and by the way, there's a huge difference between interaction and engagement. They're two different things. Just because you're getting them to do stuff or, right, everybody, let's go to a breakout room, unless it has purpose and meaning and unless they're actually involved in that process, it's really not that much engagement. So make sure that you're looking at not just involvement, but actual engagement. They can't just do something. It has to be do something with purpose. Lisa McGuinness-Smith, I had the absolute pleasure of hosting an event where she was speaking at recently virtually, and she just did a magnificent job of getting everyone to do some physical things as part of the process and getting them engaged in it. And it was just a real masterclass in how to take something you're known for offline and take it online. So there are ways to do it. So for now, going forward with the roadmap, it's really looking at what are the events you're trying to put on? How do you minimize that risk? How do you get that maximum engagement? And where are the people? There's been one of my clients did an award ceremony and said, you know what? After doing this online, we'll never do it face-to-face again, because we're able to get 95% of our staff online for the hour-long celebration, which we just cannot do face-to-face. They're a relatively medium-sized company spread all around Australia. There's just no way they're going to fly them all together for the hour and a half and then fly them away again. So they were getting, I believe it was around 40% people turning up for the face-to-face. That's all they could really sort of get, and most of that was head office. Whereas now, this is the second year in a row that we've done it, is they had such great engagement and participation online with great enjoyment as well. So look at how can I make this situation work for me? How can I twist what I'm doing and do it in a way that people enjoy and want to be part of? There are just some thoughts about how we can use that roadmap moving forward. I hope you've been able to get something out of it. If you need any help with it, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you. If you want to get better at engaging on it, and I'm not just talking about a professional speaker, you could be a sales manager. You could just be a manager trying to have team meetings where people actually, A, turn up, B, look at you, and C, turn the camera on. Check out the online presenter pro.7, get 7 keys. I'm sure they'll be of help. All right, thanks for being here. It's been a great pleasure chatting with you. I look forward to your company next time. This is the end of live stream jiggle as everything sort of gets closed down. See you next week.